Hi people, thank you for joining me on another fragrance video. Just going to be a quick one again. We're going to look at 5 fragrances I recommend for the colder weather. We're coming into winter now, it's getting a bit chilly, so you want a fragrance that's going to have a bit more oomph, a bit more depth. It's going to cut through that cold air and get you noticed in a way that aquatic fragrances just don't do. So these are going to be a bit more spicy and a little bit more in your face. Now just quick mention before we move on to the fragrances in this list, there's only going to be 5, it's going to be quite short, we're just going to get straight to the point, so we're not going to have massive note breakdowns or histories. It is just going to be the overview of why these fragrances are good for the colder weather. But as I say, just a quick note before we begin, you may have seen on my recent video 10 fragrances for life, tossed out the rest, which was an update of a video from back in 2018. Quite a few winter fragrances featured, and one that's featured heavily in that and another recent video that I've done is Pure Malt from the house of Thierry Mugler. It's part of the Amen line. I've not counted it in this list of 5, and the reason being is it's been discontinued. This is 5 fragrances that you can buy this winter if you want to. You can still get Pure Malt, but prices of it have skyrocketed. Now, just a quick caveat though, as I've said, I'm not including Pure Malt because it has been discontinued. We're going to kick things off with this one in front of you. It's Hypnos Homme from the house of Lancôme. Now, this has also been discontinued. So you may be thinking, well, if I'm not including Pure Malt in a list of 5, why am I going to include another fragrance that you can no longer purchase? And the answer is, whilst it has been discontinued by Lancôme, you can still find this and it's not expensive. Discontinued fragrances tend to go up in value quite rapidly. This one hasn't. Had a quick look online, you can still buy this for 30, 40, 50 pounds depending on where you go. Even some retailers still have it, and it is really nice fragrance for the winter. It's a spicy aromatic, it's very ambery, but it also has cardamom at the top, the amber at the base, and as I say, we don't go into too much detail, but there's a bit of lavender and also some patchouli in there. It's a really nice, spicy, warm fragrance you would expect. Few people have compared this to saying it's like Reflection Man and Le Male. Bit of a weird comparison in my view, because I don't really get either of them from this. I think it's very much a fragrance in its own right. And as I say, I'm wearing it now, so I'm just sniffing myself. Quite a lovely, ambery, but also spicy scent, which is good for winter. Moving swiftly on. This one is going to be maybe a bit of a controversial pick, but it's made quite a number of my lists over the years. It's a fragrance I absolutely love, and it's this bad boy here. I'm just going to push that back a little bit further. It's F Black from Salvador Ferragamo. Now, this fragrance is very, very inexpensive, 20 quid-ish, but it's one I've always really liked, and it is quite a surprising compliment getter. Now, I know it's synthetic, and a lot of people do say it smells like baby powder and baby wipes, and I get that completely, but also it has some darker edges, some nuances. It has a little bit of La Nuit de l'Homme, but also not. It's also something quite different. But as I say, it is synthetic, but it's also very pleasant. And as I say, as a compliment getter, it's extremely underrated. Moving on to number 3, well, this one had to make the list, didn't it? It's one that I've talked about quite a lot recently in videos. It's a very popular fragrance in the fragrance community. It's an amped up version of an already extremely popular fragrance. It is, of course, Spicebomb Extreme from the house of Viktor and Rolf. I've done a video on this recently, so again, I'm not going to war and peace about why this is such a great fragrance. It just is. Spicebomb, the original one, was a fantastic fragrance in its own right. This takes it up a notch. It gives it an extra element. It's more in your face. It's more spicy. It is, as it says on the tin, extreme. This cuts through the air. This has by modern standards, a monstrous sillage, and I'm going to qualify that comment, because either a sillage you would think is monstrous or it isn't. Well, if you go back 20 years, a lot of fragrances, the majority of fragrances, had sizable sillages. Fragrances today don't tend, in my opinion, to be as strong as they were, say, 20 years ago. And if you go back to the 80s, I think they were stronger again. So for a modern fragrance, this is a very strong fragrance. It projects, it lasts, and it's well worth the money. And it's not that expensive. You're probably talking 50 quid for a 50ml bottle like that. One that you'll get you notice, one that will get you compliments, and one that you'll certainly enjoy. Speaking of enjoyment, another one on a similar realm, and probably ticks all the same boxes, although a bit more refined, not as spicy. I'm just having a sniff now. Not as dark, and it's this bad boy. And again, this made a recent list that I've done. It's the EDP of Gentleman from Givenchy. And pretty much everything that I've told you about Spice Bomb Extreme, I could say about this. As I say, it's a bit more refined, it's a bit more, dare I say, classier. It's not as in your face, it's not as spicy, but it's definitely a warm, cuddly fragrance that will serve its purpose in these chilly winter months. And last but not leastly, we come on to our final fragrance of this list of 5. It's a fragrance that is absolutely loved in the fragrance community. You could probably find 15 videos praising this one. Been out a couple of years now, and everyone seems to really like it. Again, it's a flanker, and like with Spice Bomb Extreme, it comes with quite tacky presentation. But you shouldn't really judge a fragrance on that. You should judge it on how it smells, how it performs. And it's this one. Now, there's a couple of from this line that also get mentioned as great winter fragrances. The most wanted being the key one, but this is Azzaro Wanted by Night. It's a flanker to the original Wanted, which came out back in about 2016. And original Wanted was more of a kind of Invictus kind of scent. It was a bit like Paco Rabanne Invictus. It built on that kind of DNA. This takes in a completely different direction. It's a warmer, it's darker, it's a more wintry scent. It's just, putting it quite simply, a better scent than the original. I don't need to wax lyrical about why it's great. Just, as I say, you could go on YouTube, you could find umpteen videos telling you why this is a great fragrance, giving you the breakdown, giving you all the background. So if you've got the time to do so, I do suggest checking those ones out. Fragmental did a video on this a couple of years ago, I think it was, and I think that's probably one to look out for. I'll give you the background of this scent and why it's worthwhile and why it makes sense during these colder months. Anyway, that's enough of me blabbering on once again. As I said, it is going to be a relatively short to the point video today, so I do thank you very much for taking the time to watch. If you can also take the time to check out my other videos, that would be very much appreciated. Give this a thumbs up where you can. Do subscribe also if you've not done already. Again, that would be appreciated. It does very much help me out. And that's enough for me, as I say, going on for now, but thank you for watching, and please do check out my future fragrance videos coming to you very, very shortly. Thank you.